Dear students, so before I begin with the today's session, in connection with theory of metal cutting, let us have a revision or let us revise what we have discussed in the previous session. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the machinability index, cutting tools, cutting tool materials and their properties. Because whenever we carry out the machining by using cutting tools, these are going to be considered as the major components for deciding the machining action to be carried out in an efficient and in a perfect way. And in the today's session, we are totally discussing or focusing on the tools, cutting tools, because the cutting tools are going to play a major role in the cutting process or in the machining process, like even in connection with your machine tool and a worker, whatever, or the workpiece, whatever is there. So there are three important elements required to carry out the machining. One is the machine tool, cutting tool and the workpiece. So in the today's session, we are basically concentrating on whenever we carry out the machining operation with the help of a cutting tool, how it behaves and what are its considerations during the machining process. So in the today's session, you'll be able to understand tool wear, which is a very, very important factor, because tool wear is one of the, what we can say, drawback of a cutting tool, definitely, because whenever any cutting tool is used for a longer period of time, it will start losing the cutting ability. That itself is called as a tool wear. And how it is being defined, reasons for tool wear, why tool wear occurs, and factors on which the tool wear depends. What are the factors? Okay, what factors have to be considered on which the tool wear is depending, types of tool wear, even the tool wearing method that is going to happen during the cutting operation need to be discussed in brief. And how to minimize the tool wear, means is there any possibility of minimizing the tool wear so that the tool can be used for a longer period of time. That is the main idea here. Effects of tool wear and what happens if tool wear is going to occur. So basically tool wear is nothing but it is the any cutting tool, if it loses the cutting ability, means the cutting edge will wear out if at all the cutting tool is used for a longer period of time during the machining process. And apart from that, today we are also going to discuss about the tool life. What is the meaning of a tool life and meaning of Taylor's tool life equation? Very, very important. So it represents the relationship between your cutting speed and the ability with which the tool life can be determined. Factors affecting the tool life. What factors are there which is going to affect the tool life? So let us have a discussion in connection with the tool wear now. During any machining process, the tool is subjected to three different factors. This is very, very important. So what are the three different factors? One is the cutting force, second one is the high temperature, and the third one is a sliding action. So this is going to happen because there is a relative motion between the tool and the workpiece. See, depending upon the cutting condition, sometimes the tool is stationary and the workpiece is rotated and fed, or both can be rotated. That depends what type of operation we are going to do. But finally, we need to understand one important factor here, that in any machining process, there are three different factors. Forces, high temperature, due to cutting force, the high temperature is generated, and also which is responsible for carrying out the sliding action due to the relative motion. Due to these factors, the cutting tool will start giving unsatisfactory performance after some time. Okay, so what is going to happen? As the tool is subjected to cutting force, high temperature and sliding action, definitely it will give unsatisfactory results. Means what? It will start losing its cutting ability when it is going to be used continuously. The unsatisfactory performance may involve, the unsatisfactory performance means what? In what way you can understand that the tool is not satisfying the machining conditions. So that is loss of dimensional accuracy. The operator or the worker will come across a difficulty. He will understand, he can assess that there is a loss of dimensional accuracy is there. increased surface roughness is there, whatever the surface quality of a workpiece is to be carried out, he is not going to get it. Increased power requirements, and whatever the power consumption is there, that also getting increased. So these factors indicate that the tool is not functioning properly. It's very, very important. The unsatisfactory performance results from the tool wear. Definitely, why it is going to happen? That is because of the tool wear, due to the usage of the tool over a long time. If at all any tool is used for a very long time than specified by the manufacturer, so generally what happens, whenever cutting tool is being fabricated, produced, they are going to mention its tool life. Means it is in connection with to how many minutes or how many hours the cutting edge can give a satisfactory result during the machining operation. So as you are going to see very clearly here, the tool wear can be defined as a gradual failure of the cutting tools. It is a gradual failure, not sudden failure. Gradual failure of the cutting tools due to regular operation. As the tool is used continuously, what happens? It will start losing its ability. That is what you are going to see very clearly here. So you need to understand one important aspect here. So depending upon what? Depending upon the cutting conditions, there are two types of wear. One is called as a crater wear. Whatever they are going to see very clearly here, this portion is called as a crater wear. And before that, I want to show you one more thing here. So this is our cutting tool, which is already shown there. So in that, when the cutting action is taking place, okay, this portion, whatever the wear, is called as a crater wear. The name of the wear is called as a crater wear, and always this crater wear will happen on the face of a cutting tool. Try to understand that this crater wear is going to happen on this surface of the cutting tool, and that too, that is why it is, what is that part of a cutting single point cutting tool? It is called, it is nothing but the face of a tool. So that means whenever any cutting tool is used for the machining operation for a longer period of time, then there will be an existence of crater wear on the face portion of a cutting tool. That you need to understand very clearly. And the next one coming up is called as flank. You are going to see the flank here, FLANK, because these are the different elements of a single point cutting tool. If you have already gone through the PPT video which we have discussed in the tool geometry, we have discussed in detail along with the different parts of a single point cutting tool and also different angles which will affect the performance of a machining. So now in the figure, as you are going to see very clearly here, this portion is called as a flank wear, FLANK, and that too it is coming below the cutting edge only. It is coming below the cutting edge. So that is why, because this is the main cutting edge, this is the cutting edge, definitely that below that only it is going to happen. What type of wear? It is called as a flank wear. So these are the two major wear which are going to be taken into consideration to reduce, so that it is possible to use the cutting tool in a satisfactory way. That is the main concept here. So in the figure you are going to see very clearly that there are two types of wear. One is called as a crater wear, another one is called as a flank wear. This crater wear will be happening on the face of a single point cutting tool, whereas the flank wear is going to take place below the cutting edge and below the flank, FLANK, as you are going to see very clearly. Now let me start with the next slide, that is, what are the reasons for tool wear? Why tool wear happens? What is the necessity of occurrence of a tool wear? Means what makes the tool to wear out, or what makes the tool to lose its cutting capacity? That we are discussing now. The first important factor or reason for the tool wear is abrasion by hard particles and inclusions in the workpiece. Abrasions means what? If at all, because we need to understand one important concept here. Now generally whenever any machining is carried out, so that it is to maintain the what we can say tolerance, surface finish, quality requirements, whatever is there. So in that condition, there is some standardized cutting tools which have to be used to cut certain materials or the metals only. If there is any variation in that, then we cannot expect the all quality requirements in connection with the job. So for that purpose, what happens, this tool wear is also going to happen. So abrasion by hard particles and inclusions in the workpiece. So the basic reason for the tool wear to happen is a very hard particles will be there in the workpiece, okay, which will make the cutting edge to wear out faster. And the second one is severe abrasion between the chip and the tool face. Just we have discussed in the previous slide, as the tool is going to come in contact with the workpiece, the chip will slide, okay, and there is a severe abrasion, means what, there is a severe force, abrasive force between the chip and the tool face. So that is why on the tool face there is an occurrence of crater wear. Okay, sharing of micro welds between the tool and the workpiece, this is called as a micro weld. So this is going to happen because of a very high temperature between the tool and the workpiece surface. There is a very high temperature, and if proper amount of cutting fluid is not used, also it is going to happen. Abrasion by fragments of built up edge plowing against the clearance face of the tool. There is some clearance face is there. So in that clearance face, what happens, as chips will start flowing, it will not flow smoothly, it will start getting adhered, okay, where the clearance on the face of the tool is there. Due to that, there is some abrasion happens. High temperature in the tool chip interface. Just I have told, in the tool chip interface there is a high temperature, and that is responsible for the wearing of the cutting tool. Too brittle material of the tool. This is one more factor is there. If the tool is too much brittle, like a glass, as we are going to see, the glass will immediately break. It because of its brittle nature, or even you take a bricks, it's going to break very fast. Okay, so that is why the properties of the cutting tool materials also play a major role in reducing your tool wear. If any cracks already in the tool, if any cracks, physical cracks are there, then definitely that is also responsible for the tool wear. Excessive static and shock loading of the tool. This is very, very important. See what happens, sometimes we are going to give more depth of cut and more cutting speed, and sometimes we give very less depth of cut. There is a continuous variation. Okay, and for this what happens, whatever the vibration that is coming to the cutting tool has to be sustained by it. So in that condition, what happens, static and shock loading of the tool will take place. Weak design of the tool, such as high positive rake angle. So this is also very, very important. So while discussing about the different cutting angles, like back rake angle, side rake angle, end cutting edge angle, side cutting edge angle, all that, if we don't keep the desired degree of the rake angles, okay, that is also responsible for the tool wear to take place. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why the tool is going to wear when the machining process is being carried out. The next one is, what are the factors on which tool wear depends? Means what are the factors, means what? So what factors make the tool wear to happen or to take place? The first one is type and condition of the workpiece. This is also very, very important. What type of workpiece material we are machining, okay, and the condition of the workpiece means it is connected to what, your composition, it is connected to how it is being held. So many factors are there. Condition of the workpiece, whether it is stationary or whether it is rotated, whether it is inclined, so many factors are there. So we can say that tool wear depends basically on the type and condition of the workpiece, how it is, feed and depth of cut. Just I have discussed, because feed and depth of cut, based on that only this tool wear depends. Means the tool wear becomes more and more if we use more depth of cut in a simple way. And also it depends upon the tool geometry. The tool geometry is nothing but what? The different angles being cut on a single point cutting tool to carry out the machining process. And the fourth point is tool temperature. If at all the temperature of the tool is not controlled properly, that also leads to the tool wear. And the last one is the cutting speed. Cutting speed, there are some standard cutting speeds to be used depending upon the type of cutting tool material, depending upon what type of workpiece we are going to cut, whether it is a mild steel or whether it is a medium carbon steel or whether it is a alloy steel or whether it is a non-ferrous metal like aluminium, copper, all that, and their alloys like brass, bronze, etc. Okay, for that there is some standard chart is there which has to be referred by the metallurgist so as to carry out the what we can say selection of the cutting speed as per the range. If that range is not used in a proper way, even that also leads to what? The tool wear. So these are some of the factors where the tool wear is going to take place. Okay, the next one which we are going to discuss is types of tool wear. So one important thing we have noticed that the tool wear which we have discussed in the very first slide itself, one is called as a crater wear, which is going to happen on the face of a single point cutting tool, and the second one is the flank wear, which is going to happen on the flank below the cutting edge. Okay, so these two wear are considered to be the major wear of a tool. So now we shall have just a discussion in brief. First one is what? Flank wear, which already discussed, crater wear, because these are the two important wear in connection with the cutting tools. But apart from that, there are other conditions are there like localized wear, such as rounding of the cutting edges. See what happens, there is some portion which is also at the cutting edges, you are going to see some rounding off. Okay, means which is going to lead the cutting edge, instead of being sharp, it will start getting the round shape. That is called as a localized wear, physical wear. Chipping of the cutting edges. Chipping of the cutting edges means what? The cutting edges will also start breaking out slightly, a very slight crack, a very small crack, or a very small what we can say fragment which is going to come out from the cutting edge also. So such thing is also going to happen, and these are considered as the tool wear types. Okay, and the next one is, now we know one important thing here, this tool wear we cannot avoid, but still how it can be minimized. This is very, very important. How we can minimize the tool wear means what makes so that the tool can be used in a satisfactory condition. So that is what we are discussing here. The tool wear can be minimized by the following ways. The first one is reducing the friction between the work and the tool face, because it is the tool and the tool face which will be in direct contact with the workpiece or the chip face, whatever that is being shared off. So we have to reduce the friction. Okay, that is the main this one effective measure so as to reduce the tool wear, reducing the friction between the work and the tool face, reducing the temperature between the tool work interface. So whenever the tool will come in contact with the work, that interface, that zone, we are going to call it as what? Tool work interface. So we have to reduce the temperature. The third one is the above things can be achieved by using lubricants or coolants while machining. Definitely if some lubricants are used, it is possible to reduce the friction, it is possible to reduce the temperature also. Using properly hardened tool steel, this is very, very important. So whatever the selection of the tool material is there, it should have a properly hardened, means properly heat treated cutting tool should be used for the machining process. Proper processing means what? It is connected with the machining operation, how you are going to do, how you are going to set the cutting tool, okay, how you are going to set the workpiece, okay, how you are going to be more skilled in a machine like that, how you are able to use it. In connection with that, it comes selecting appropriate tool material. The appropriate tool material has to be selected. If a wrong cutting tool material is used, then you are going to get the proper surface finish. So the tool wear will be the tool wear is going to happen very, very quickly. Wear can be minimized by increasing the cutting speeds. wear can be minimized by increasing the cutting speeds. Generally what we are thinking, we think wear rate is what we can say is minimized by decreasing the cutting speed. It is not like that. Wear can be minimized by increasing the cutting speed. By increasing the cutting speed, if proper tool is used, it, and by also giving a very small depth of cut, it is and a small feed, it is possible to minimize the wear rate. So there are around 7 conditions, okay, through which it is possible to minimize the tool wear. And what are its effects? See what happens if tool wear is there. So we have studied now reasons for tool wear, factors on which tool wear depends, types of tool wear, how this tool wear can be minimized, and the last concept in connection with the tool wear is effects of tool wear. Increased cutting forces. Effects of tool wear means what? Suppose already the tool wearing has taken place. So in what way it is going to be considered? Okay, increased cutting forces. So now if tool wear is there, what happens? The cutting force required will be increased. Very simple thing is there. Okay, and increased cutting temperature. The cutting temperature will also go on increasing. Poor surface finish. You are going to have a very poor surface finish. Decreased accuracy of finished parts. Definitely you are not going to get the parts to the required degree of accuracy as expected. May lead to tool breakage. Even there is a chance that because of the tool wear, the tool can break during the machining itself. Change in the tool geometry. Even suppose if you are going to make some modifications in the angles of the single point cutting tool, okay, alter the tool angles and use it, in that condition also it is also going to affect the tool wear. Okay, so these are the conditions where the effects of tool wear can be assessed even by the operator also. Okay, so the next important discussion, which is very important concept, that is called as a tool life. So generally what we have thinking, tool life means what? Whenever any particular type of cutting tool, a standard cutting tool, is being selected for the purpose of machining operation, okay, so we think that tool life means we are just taken a tool and used for some hours and then we have thrown. It is not like that. Here we are defining the tool life depending upon the how best a particular cutting tool can be used as specified by the manufacturer of so many hours. How you are going to maintain the cutting edge of a given standard cutting tool. So now how we are going to define that? The tool life can be defined as the total cutting time accumulated before tool failure occurs. Before the tool is going to fail, okay, how much cutting time it has given for us. Or tool life can be defined as the effective cutting time between the resharpening. This is very important. Effective cutting time between the resharpening. So whenever any type of cutting tool is used, the cutting edge will wear out. So when the cutting edge will wear out, the cutting edge needs to be resharpened. The cutting edge of the cutting tool need to be resharpened, generally on a grinding machine. So what happens? Suppose one cutting tool is there which can be used for say 45 minutes or 1 hour. It may lose the cutting capacity. Then you are going to bring that cutting tool to the grinding machine, get it, the cutting edge is whatever the wearing is there, that can be removed and it can be reused. Okay, so now whatever the time that it is used continuously, okay, that itself is called as a tool life. So what we have done, we have taken a very new cutting tool, we have started machining for 45 minutes, then we removed the cutting tool due to tool wear, then we took it to the grinding machine for the grinding of the cutting edge or for the resharpening purpose. Again we use the same tool, so we have used for 45 minutes. That itself is called as a tool life, remember. So whenever the wear reaches a certain value, the tool is not capable of further cutting unless it is resharpened. That is what we have already discussed there. What are the conditions? That is, the cutting force will increase, cutting temperature will increase, poor surface finish you are going to observe. So all these observations made by the operator give an indication that the tool has started wearing, you have to go for the resharpening of the same. The tool life is the most important criterion for assessing the performance of a tool material. So why this tool life is considered? Because each and every cutting tool is having some specific tool life. Okay, it may be a high carbon steel, it may be HSS, or it may be a cemented carbide cutting tool, or it may be a stellite, it may be a diamond, like that. Okay, so each and every cutting tool is having a certain amount of tool life. Okay, for assessing the performance of a tool material, machinability of the work material, and for determining cutting conditions. Okay, flank wear, it is not a plank wear. It is a flank wear is generally considered as a decisive factor of the tool life. Just we have discussed about the flank wear. So once the flank wear is going to occur, then it is an indication that the tool is getting weared faster. Okay. However, at higher cutting speeds and metal removal rates, the tool failure may also be caused by cratering. This is called as a crater wear. Crater wear. Okay. One is called as a flank wear, another one is called as a crater wear. Okay, both these types of wear are strongly influenced by the cutting speed, and hence it is of interest to study the relation between the cutting speed and the wear rate or the tool life based on these criteria. So generally it is very clear that it is necessary to know, taking into consideration, okay, cutting speed and the tool life. So that itself is called as the Taylor's tool life equation. Please don't get confused. This is not your cloth tailor. This is a Taylor's tool life equation who has dedicated himself to find out the relationship between the tool life and the cutting speed. Because for whenever any cutting tool is used for the purpose of machining operation, it can be used for a certain period of time. So during that time, by different cutting speeds, how the tool life is going to change, that we are going to discuss on a graph here very clearly. So here you are going to see, again we are defining in a simple word again, tool life is defined as the effective cutting time between resharpening. Very simple word or a simple sentence. Tool life is defined as the effective cutting time, effectively without stoppage, if the cutting tool is used continuously between resharpening, before it is taken out and used for the regrinding purpose, that itself is called as the tool life. So the Taylor's equation for the tool life is, this one. This is the tool life equation, which you are going to see very clearly here. This is the tool life equation. Okay, Vt raised to n is equal to constant. It is Vt raised to n is equal to constant, where you are going to see here V is the cutting velocity or cutting speed in meters per minute, tool life in minutes, and n is a constant based on the tool material, and C a constant based on the tool and work. The C is, capital C is depending on both tool and work selection, but whereas n is depending on the tool material. If a graph is drawn very clearly here, if a graph is drawn between the cutting velocity and the tool life, you can see very clearly here, you are going to see very clearly, we have taken different values of the cutting speed. Cutting speed is here, it is cutting speed is less, yes, still more and still more, but whereas the time you are going to see it is very less, time is less, more, like this. So what is the meaning of this? Just I will explain here. As the value of the cutting speed is less, you see here, let us take a very simple example. The cutting speed is very less here. What about the time here? The time allotted is more here. We are going to see the time is more, okay, because our cutting speed is less. Suppose if the cutting speed is this much, then your cutting time is, your tool life is very less. So what is the meaning of that? So this graph indicates the sloping. So the same one, it can be considered in the form of a taking into consideration of the log of that is the slope what we are going to call means making this curve in the form of a straight line, you are going to get like this, which you are going to see very clearly here. In this case, these are the different values of cutting speeds, and these are the different values. X-axis represents the different values of the tool life. So it is clear. So in brief, I want to say from this sketch that as the cutting speed is increased, the tool life is less, and vice versa. That is what we are going to see. If the cutting speed is higher, the tool life is less. If the cutting speed is less, the tool life is more. Okay, that itself is called as a Taylor's tool life equation, which you need to understand. Now the same one we are just showing in another way. It can be defined in this way also. The relationship between the cutting speed and the tool life can be determined from the plots of wear rates at various cutting speeds. Even we can consider the wear rates also. The graph is not going to change. Okay, the tool life value for different cutting speeds are read from the graph. For any stipulated value of wear, the values of the tool life and the cutting speed shows a straight line relationship. Okay, as you are going to see on the screen. Okay, it has been shown by the Taylor that the relationship between the tool life and the cutting speed can be represented by the following equation: Vt raised to minus 1 upon k. So this minus 1 upon k is nothing but a Vt raised to n. That itself is called as a n. Try to understand. Okay, which you are discussed in the previous slide. Don't get confused. Vt raised to n is equal to constant is also a same one. That n here is equal to minus 1 upon k, where v is the cutting speed in minutes and the tool life in minutes only. Okay. Now let us have a view of the values of n and c in Vt raised to n is equal to constant. See here very clearly. Now you are going to see the left side, that is the first column, are nothing but the tool material. The first column are called as the tool material, and the value of C, which you are going to see on the top here, value of C is there and the tool material is there and n is there, because we are interested in this value and this value, what we have to select. Okay, for that purpose plain carbon steel is there. N value is 0.1. For non-steel cutting 70 meters per minute. For steel cutting it is 20 meters per minute. That means if at all your work material is of steel, if I am going to use plain carbon steel, then I have to keep the cutting speed as 20 only. The value of C becomes 20 here and the value of N becomes 0.1 here to calculate your tool life. Try to understand. Now high speed steel is there. N value is 0.125. And for non-steel cutting means what? Other than steel means this is the non-ferrous, then you'll be having 120, whereas 70 meters per minute for the steel cutting. So like this, the various standard values have been used for the purpose of calculating what is the value of the tool life when it is used for the machining operation. So with this, I am concluding the today's session. So you need to go through the assessment questions. So in every class henceforth there will be 5 assessment questions.
Cutting tool materials, and basically for the single point cutting tool materials. So what happened, just you can see the metal machining process, the tool is being subjected to the 3 different factors. First, that will be the forces. Second important, that will be the temperature. And third, that will be called as a sliding action. 2 relative with the tool and the workpiece. So due to these 3 factors, the cutting tool will start giving unsatisfactory performance, which involves the loss of the dimensional accuracy, increase the surface roughness, and increase the power consumption requirements. So that will be all our result as a tool wear. So basically there are several factors affecting the tool wear. So let us see. First one, tool material hardness. So basically hardness, that will be the first essential characteristics required for the tool materials. So basically hardness, that will be the tool material must be harder than workpiece materials. So that will be the one factors. If that will be having a less hardness is being present into the tool materials, so such kind of tools that will be wear out due to the some kind of abrasions and adhesions. So that will be the first one, that will be affect the tool wear. Second one, type and the condition of the workpiece. So that will be once again from the good characteristics required for the tool materials. So which kind of type of the tool materials and which kind of conditions of the workpiece. So we already know at higher temperatures the hardness is being lowered. So in case of that applications or our workpiece material, it will be at the elevated temperatures. So at that time our tool material characteristics, that will be having a hot hardness. So not only the hardness at the room temperatures, but that will be the requirement of the hot hardness. Otherwise our tool wear is being take place into the cutting tool materials. Then third and the important part, feed, speed and depth of cut. So these three are the main parameters that will be increasing the tool wears. So if we are increasing any one of out of these three, either speed, either feed or depth of cut, so that will be always increasing the tool wear. If you are increasing the two of these three, so that will be having a rapid wear. If you are increasing all the three parameters like feed, speed and depth of cut, so that will be having a higher tool wears. So that will be, you can optimum conditions for the feed, speed and depth of cut according to your workpiece material and your tool materials. Then important part, that will be the tool geometry. So basically for single point cutting tool, so there are various angles like rack angle, side rack angle and rip angles. So you can adjusting that tool geometry according to your characteristics of the workpiece materials. So you can easily controlling the tool wears. Then tool temperatures. So basically it will be the three zones into the cutting. So these chips, it will be taken 70% heat, tool that will be the 15% and workpiece that will be the 15% heat. So you can take care about their temperatures, so you can easily controlling the wear. And most important part, cutting fluids. So whenever it will be the required for cutting of the hard materials with your tool, so by the using of the cutting fluid during the cutting operations, you should increasing the life of the tool, or you can be reducing the tool wear during the machining operations. So now we are discussing with the different kind of tool wear take place into the single point cutting tool. So let us see. So just you can see over here our tool, it will be look like this with the workpiece materials. So for the ductile materials, once it will be making the shear plane with your workpiece material, so chip is being producing, and for the ductile it will be making a continuous chips. So the chips is flowing onto the top face of the cutting tool. So what happened? Due to that high temperature chips, so we already discussed the 70% heat it will be gaining by the chip materials. So that high temperature chips, it will be flowing onto this face, so that will be having some microwaves onto this face. So due to that microwaves and continuously flowing of the chips, so this surface it will be wear out. So for the cutter wears, basically generating due to the severe abrasions between the chips and the tool face. So the higher temperature in tool chip interface and reaching the softening, or you can say melting. So basically, just you can see over here, this zone it will be for the crater wear. So the crater wear is the most common into the ductile materials which produce the continuous chips. Crater wear does not always extend to the tool tip but may end at the distance from the tool tip. So it increases the cutting forces, modifies the tool geometry and soften the tip of the tool. So that will be reducing the different angles. Now the second one, and that will be the flank wear. So here that will be the flank wear. So once again you can concentrate over here. So that will be called as a flank of the tool. So basically flank wears occurs due to the abrasions by the hard particles between tool and workpiece material. So some hard particles it will be not containing with the chips but it will be separate out from here. So what happened? The shearing of the micro welds between the tool and workpiece and the abrasion of the fragments of the built-up edges blowing against the clearance face of the tool. So that will be some particles, or you can say hard particles over here. So that will be into the flank side. So it will be passing from this. So due to that passing of the hard particles onto the flank, so that will be making a wear onto the flank. So that will be called as a flank wear. So that will be the two kind of wears it will be take place into the single point cutting tools. So basically flank wear and crater wear. So if you like this, then subscribe and